let's dive into early years and then team formation and, kind of what you guys are doing now.
Yeah, early years of real estate. Like I said, I was lucky. I had like 7 in contract in the first couple, like 60 days, I think it was.
Wild.
It was wild because they don't teach you how to sell real estate in real estate school. No. But yeah, so I was super fortunate. That was what allowed me to get out of my job after, I think I was only there for like 6 months. And I was just like, all right, I've got a couple under my belt. Here we go. Built my social media, did a ton of open houses. And really, I have built my entire career mostly off my sphere. So I got licensed when I was 26. And it was that perfect sweet spot where a lot of my friends were, oh, you're in real estate? Tell me about it. Oh, I didn't know I could afford a house. And it's just educating people. So did that and then got super busy the following year and tried to bring on a team member. And I did what there's a fly. Did what everyone said not to do. And that was hire a buyer's agent first. And I was just like, I just need someone to open doors for me and help. I don't need like paperwork. I got that. Major fail. Highly don't recommend. So then I was in that mindset of that didn't work out. I'm just going to be a solo agent forever. I got this. Hired a transaction coordinator, which made my life so much easier. And then when all that was taken care of, I was selling more and more and more. And then, like she said, we went to career visioning, and it was 3 months we talked about it. I mean, we went to a CPA, we went to an attorney, we
got divorced before we got married is what our business attorney likes to say.
Because I'm like, we both know the same people. I was like, if we merge our database and then something doesn't work out 6 months down the line, that would be one of our careers is going down, know? So we did all that. And once all that was taken care of, I was like, all right, let's do this. And even then it was kind of, a little bit, not rocky, but a little messy with, she still had some in contract. I still had some in contract. She had brought on 2 team members at that point. So I was kind of inheriting them. And they all of a sudden went from 1 boss to 2 bosses. And then, it was a good 90 days of just figuring things out. But once we got the hang of it and, cut the fat, if you will, it was fine. And ever since then, we've grown and shrunk and grown and shrunk and grown and shrunk. And we've had some really good fits that we were devastated to see go. But you know how it is. You can't make someone want to be there. So, the people who saw some success on the team and decided to step out on their own, that was fine. And we had some that, didn't do that and kind of saw themselves out. So it's definitely been emotional because we treat our team like family. I mean, they all have our door codes. They watch our dog. They, we do everything together.
Yeah.
So it is very emotional. It's not just you're my employee, I'm a boss type thing.
I'm secretly a big crybaby when it comes to it.
She really is. But yeah, so I mean, it's been ebbs and flows for sure. But we've got a really good crew, and we're very tight knit and have each other's backs and help out, and that's all you can ask for. So we're not big, but we're mighty.
What do you still? I just had this conversation last week with my coach. Do you still believe that admin is the first hire for a team?
Totally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, John, I know that you and I talked at a Real Producers event last year sometime, and we were kind of talking about team members and how they come, they go, and where's real estate moving with teams. And I would say, so right now we have a director of operations, also our client concierge specialist. So she takes care of because all of our business, majority of it comes from Sphere, past client referral, friend referrals. So they expect events, gifts. We're like
swag.
We're doing everything for them. And that client concierge specialist is so good. We're like, we need more of you. Boom, director of operations. Then we have our transaction coordinator. So our team is guaranteed that we want them only to do one thing in this existence, and that's go sell homes.
Yeah.
We do not want you messing around with paperwork. We don't want you to get stressed about it. You're negotiating, you're selling homes, we're taking on the rest. So once we had those 2 in place, now our team runs much more smoothly. And I mean, we just interviewed this past week with 2 additional agents to bring on. So we're always bringing on more agents and want to kind of get our team to a bigger part because we do have a development project going on. So we're kind of, LKW will be in an expansion process. So we need to find the right fits for everyone.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, I always think about, our team as a franchise, a McDonald's, Starbucks, and it's all systems based, and putting the right people in the right seats, is part of that. So, I just been kicking around this idea, and I was just curious of your thoughts of, in today's world, like when I got into the business, we were still doing fax, right? And faxing offers and all, carrying paperwork. So like the admin role really did take a ton off of an agent's plate because you didn't necessarily have to run back to the office and, do all those things. And now with like .loop and technology, I was asking my coach, like, could someone's first hire be a buyer's agent? Because what do we spend the most time on as agents? In the car, showing homes.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure with you guys, writing a contract probably takes you under 30 minutes to do. Back then it'd be like, okay, let's write it out, let's fax it over, let's fax it. Oh, you missed a document. Okay, well, let's refax this one sheet. So I was just curious of your thoughts on if you still thought that was.
You can get a buyer's agent first, but you know what? The whole thing is you have to remember that's a person representing you. Yeah. So we try and show our clients as much as possible. If we're not able to, obviously we have kids, sports, we're doing all the things. So if there's a time you need that buyer's agent to be the perfect person that represents your brand, because no one's going to care about your business as much as you do.
Yeah.
So are they just going there and opening a door and saying like, look around, I'm just trying to get this done so Jen and Lauren are happy? No, it has to be the perfect individual. So any day of the week, I'd rather show a home under my own self if I need to, than to have some rando go in there, because if they're not good, they're not even gonna, they're not gonna sell it. When you see your clients look in the corner of a living room and they're like, that's where my Christmas tree is going. I can see that in someone's eye. And I'm like, boom, we're writing an offer. Now I can see. So one of my favorite quotes is from Ben Kinney. And he said, if you want to have a Navy, you need a team of SEALs. And that's just like, you need the team below you to represent your brand. And we're very specific that they do exactly that. We have high expectations, open house, high expectations. There are things that our team knows. It's this or nothing. God forbid we find out other, because the disappointment's real. And when you have mom and dad disappointments, it's hard because we are like family. So it's like, oh shit.
But here's what I learned in hiring a buyer's agent first, right? I was like, I just need help doing showings, doing open houses, running around town, right? But what I learned was I actually made more work for myself, because I had to teach that person how to do the running around. And then I had to let them shadow me running around. So I was doing twice the amount of running around. And then when they did get a contract, I had to sit down and show them how to do that. So my workload became workload of now 2 people.
Right.
When I scratched that and just got a TC when we parted ways, I was like, oh my gosh, my entire day is free. Yeah. I'm not doing the paperwork. I can go do my own showings. I can go pick up probably 8. I could probably handle 8 to 10 buyers at a time right now, because I'm not doing the TC. So I'm thinking to myself, if I would have had the TC first, like everyone told me to do, and I didn't want to listen, I probably could have exploded my business bigger, faster, stronger like that.
And it's an ego thing, because you kind of want the team, right? You're like, oh, I'm a team leader. I've got a team. You're feeling good about yourself. You're 2 years in and you're like, look at my team. Yeah. You know what? It just gave you like a bunch of stress and
overhead even. I mean, the overhead, the training. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to be a team leader. And I if I could do it again, I would have hired a TC instantly, no questions asked, before anything else.
Now the new wave is virtual assistants.
Yeah.
We tried it.
Yeah, we tried it, and it was an ISA. We had a virtual assistant ISA and a virtual assistant TC. And it was just too much. We had to fix a lot of things, and it just wasn't working. So now our girl is right here in our backyard. She has systems and tools
She's
set
not
up.
literally in our backyard though. She's not in a tent out back. Abby, get over here.
Yes, but
Yeah.
both of our assistants now live in Columbus. And I mean, it literally is, you know, our schedules change in the drop of a hat. I've called her before and I've been like, hey, can you go open this door? She's licensed PC. She can go open the door for me. Now, Abby, our assistant, is not licensed, but if we forget a closing gift or need to go grab a sign or something like that, it's so nice to have them here because they're extra hands just to help out.
Yeah. You spoke about two things. One thing that I'm learning, part of why I went and got a coach is I'm someone that likes to lead by an example. And as I've tried to scale out of the real estate side of selling, you know, the leadership piece is different for me, I believe, when I'm not in it, right? When I'm not there writing a contract or I'm not there doing showings. And one of the things I'm learning from my coach is, you know, your team members, part of leadership is having the shared vision. And if you're not talking about the vision, you're not sharing your vision, and your team members aren't on the same agreement with you of what this vision is, then that's where we have a lot of conflict within the team, right? So I'm personally working through some of that stuff. And you know, I know we're all Gary Vee fans. And the one thing I think about all the time that he talks about is, you know, it's not their team. Why should they care more? Right. And us as team leads, typically we're like, oh, just do more, like you can do it. And, you know, why should they? Right. I mean, other than themselves, but, you know, we work for them and it's not the other way around. And I think a lot of times we lose track of that as team leads. You know I do from time to time, you know.
We always say we can give you every aspect of this business. We can teach you how to run your numbers. We can teach you how to show homes. We can teach you how to do buyer, seller consultations. We can give you every single thing. There's one thing we can't give you, and that's the drive.
Yeah.
For you to get up every day and say, today I'm going to go get business, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure out a way. So there's times where we look at our team members and I'm like, I want to strangle you right now because you're so close. Like, you can do it. And you're just missing one small thing. And it's the only one thing I can't give to you.
Yeah.
Like we just can't do that. So it is frustrating, but also it's just, that's the real life talk where you're like, hey, this one's on you, buddy. Like,
yeah,
you're the only one who can finish the next step.
I'm going to start stealing that because normally I say there's only a couple things that I'll promise anyone that comes to our team or that's involved with me. But I say the one thing I don't promise is your success because that's up to you.
Yeah.
I can give you everything else, but now I'm going to add success and drive. Right.
That's fine, John, as long as we're not going after the same agents.
You're going to be like, I think I've heard this before. Right?
Yeah. I heard this last week. Did you guys talk?
We were having wine with the LKW home team and something weird happened.
No, but that's why with our team, we talk about it all the time. We have this big development project coming up. We have public speaking thing. We're keynote speakers. There's going to come a day where we need to hand over a referral that comes into us. There's going to be a day where, you know, if we're at a conference, I need to trust that someone can step up and be a mini us in that moment. So we tell them there's potential for you to become the CEO or to become the director of agents or to become, you know, if you tell us in 5 years, hey, I want to move to Charleston, South Carolina. If you're a good enough agent, we'll fly down there and we'll start an expansion team for you. So there's a ton of opportunity, and we just try to remind them when we bring them on or, you know, over and over as they grow with us, you got to earn it. You know, if you come to me in 5 years, well, you're not going to be on the team in 5 years, but if you're not doing anything, I'm not going to spend the overhead on you. I'm not going to, you know, take a risk on you. Right. You got to show me right now to build that foundation and build that trust. And then I'll give you the world.